Hi, this is Ash again, and before I begin, I would like to say that it's possible to recover a lot from schizophrenia. You can have a very good recovery. Believe it or not, it's possible. I'm going to share bits and pieces of my journey with you. And when schizophrenia began for me, it wasn't very nice. It was very traumatic. I had voices coming from outside. It seemed like it's coming from outside, and people are reading my thoughts. It's like you're completely naked. You cannot hide your feelings of the past. You can hide your feelings in the present. You can't hide your thoughts. It's like somebody reading your life. It can be very scary because many times these thoughts come and go. Some thoughts happen and go. We are influenced by the media. We are influenced by 10,000 things. And with all of these coming out of our system and somebody reading it and responding to it and judging, which is the characteristic of paranoid schizophrenia, and it can be very scary. So, how did I deal with this? Initially, it was tough. I was told that I have a mental illness which is going to be lifelong. It's called schizophrenia. I was happy because it had a name, it had a benchmark. There is study gone into it, and it made me feel secure. As the time passed, I took my medicines. Sometimes I would skip my medicines just like everybody does. I had my relapses. But the breakthrough really happened after after my second episode when I was completely disabled. I could not I had sort of catatonic elements, and I was completely demotivated, and there was something very different that happened to me that day. I was questioning, is this life? Is this what life is going to be like? How can I break through? How can I break through schizophrenia, something like schizophrenia? And it occurred to me that nobody can understand me better than myself. How much can I communicate to the doctor? How much can the doctor understand me? It's not possible. So I took the matter in my own hands. And I had this particular stage. I would like to talk about a stage where people have very heavy, intrusive thoughts, they call it. There are two kinds. You have voices that seem to appear from outside, and voices that come from inside. Those are intrusive thoughts. And everything, single thing you do, say, it will talk, it will blurt out insults, abuse, stuff, and it's very hard to continue. You can look up YouTube videos. There's a nice video by Anderson Cooper 360. He's done simulation of schizophrenia. It's a fantastic video. You should look at it. The voices were a lot more harsh than shown in that video, and what I did was I decided to take the matter in my own hands. I did not stop my medication. Medication helped me control the symptoms, but there was no cure. I needed to find the cure. I needed to find the recovery. And what I did was I sat down and I said, all right, this is it. This is when the voices were not heavy, or psychosis was not heavy. You can't do this when the psychosis is heavy. When the psychosis is heavy, you need to take your medicine and sleep as much as you can. That's the key. But when you're in a little softer state, more stable state, when the voices are not too harsh, not too hard, and that's when you can do something like this, what I did. What I did was I sat down and decided, because I had nothing else to do. I was completely disabled. I was not in a state to work or anything. So I had plenty lot of time. So I gave the time to understand myself, because I did a lot of research, and I found that they say schizophrenia is split of mind. It's not a split personality as often shown in movies. It's a split of mind, and I agree with it, because in Japan they also call it, it's a disorder which needs integration of thoughts, which is correct. What happened with me was it started off with one voice, and then it split into hundreds of voices, different voices. So I can agree with split of mind. It was like a part of me from the unconscious coming out with all the influences and everything. It was very unpleasant to face, and I decided to question. So whenever the voice would say something, I would calmly sit down, not do anything, and I would ask, "Okay, why are you saying that?" And I would see visions. You see, schizophrenia also has delusions and hallucinations. Instead of being on the reactive side of it, of constantly being in reaction to, oh my god, what's going on, I can't take this, I decided to be proactive. I decided to direct it. I decided to, whenever there was a reaction from the voices or the visions, I would sit down and look at it carefully, listen to it, allow it to speak. Something I've learned, it's very healthy for the mind to speak when it's overloaded. So it's good to give it some time, sit down and listen to your mind without judgment. And when it's done speaking, you can just gently question why. And the answers will come to you. It came to me. It came to me like there were visions of a dark room with a little child crying. It could have been my own broken spirit from childhood throwing tantrums because I could not carry out what it wanted me to do. And this is just one example. There are lots of examples where um, the voices would start talking, and I would sit down and I would listen to it. I would listen to it till it became quiet, and then I would ask a question, trying to understand, not to fight, not to be bold, not to be brave, to fight the voices. Voices were a part of me now, it's an added part of my personality. So I asked a question like, why? Why are you saying this? And how do you know this? And how sure are you about this? And it would soften down. In fact, doing this repeatedly, in fact, there were days when you cannot sleep. Many of you will know that the voices are so hard and the paranoia is so scary. The fear is so scary, so much that you cannot even close your eyes. So during those nights, I would just lay down and I would listen and I would ask, what's going on? Why? And then it sort of directed the whole orchestration of voices and hallucinations to dig deeper and find answers for me, which led to a separate journey. Because by taking a proactive stance in schizophrenia, I decided to face everything from voices to hallucinations to delusions to depression, everything. And everything brought out a different color, a different aspect to me because I was in control. I wanted to understand. The whole key was to have the spirit to understand and to heal. And it really worked for me. I took the time to sit down, listen to my voices, question them nicely, try to understand as if they were my friends. They were a part of me which I don't know, which are buried deep inside my soul. And a lot of things came out, a lot of memories started coming out, a lot of old memories reeling through my head. A lot of them were twisted to be something else, but I knew it's not true, and I would just watch patiently. It's like, okay, no reaction, no fear. I had to overcome the fear, move from fear to love and understanding. By moving to love and understanding, and with the medicines, it really took care of my paranoia. I was in a better position to be loving and understanding than be fearful of what was going on inside me. And what happened was, with this constant practice, I became a very good listener. I became very contemplative. It brought changes in my lifestyle, like I avoid digital entertainment, I avoid movie theaters. They are not evil or anything, but it doesn't go with me because I'm very absorbent. That's what I discovered. And what goes on around me, I absorb very deeply. And last thing I want is my clear thoughts to be disturbed by a movie I saw or something. So I avoid fiction altogether, and I give more and more time, even after so many years, to my own mind, what's going on in my own mind, and to bring it to peace because it helps me interact very clearly. I can be confident of myself. I'm a good listener in my day-to-day life, and I'm able to work. I'm able to work effectively because my head is clear. And what happened for me was by doing this practice regularly, by asking the voices actually mellowed down. They realized they did not have to push. I actually asked them, can you be nice and can you talk to me? I will try to understand you. And they were nice. They were nice to me. Eventually, they started speaking very gently. They would remind me to eat and drink and not scare me and things. So, was it just a coincidence? No. I had a very strong schizophrenia, and by taking a stance to face it with love and understanding, I was able to sort it out. Medicines helped me a lot, but today I'm on only a basic maintenance drug, which means just in case I have a problem, I have to take a pill every day, and which is okay. It's better than being bogged down with pills and feeling helpless and hopeless about life. I don't anymore. And in fact, schizophrenia has given me such a deep rooting inside myself that I'm secure within myself. I'm secure within my own life, within my inner mind. And I think most of us would seek that. I see videos of lots of people affected with schizophrenia. It breaks my heart. That's why I've started this video channel of recovery because nobody talks about recovery. And I'm sharing with you that you can take the stance too of love and understanding. Isolate. I think that's what we people need. Instead of being seen as violent and dangerous people, we need to be given space to contemplate, to actually try to understand the voice. Art helps us a lot. And that's what I'll leave you with. Think about this. And if you have questions, if you're somebody who's going through schizophrenia, don't know how to handle it, you can approach me. You can ask me questions. We can talk. And I'll be very happy to help you. Thank you.